On this episode of RC Kicks, we find out 10 things that I love about the RC hobby. Hi and welcome to RC Kicks. On today's show, well, today we're going to go through 10 things that I love about the RC hobby. You guys seem to like my wife's 10 things she hates about my hobby. Yeah, that did rather well. So I'm going to try and retaliate with 10 things that I love about the hobby. And we're going to kick off with number one. Number one is the reissue and the new kits that we see coming out now. Now, this might not seem like much of an important one, but I have to say the amount of kits that we're now being given across the whole spectrum, be that from Japan, with Kyosho and Tamiya, with China, with Banggood, and with all the American crawlers and bashers, and the UK with their reissues and their new racing stuff. The choice is yours, and that's fantastic. I really think this is a bit of a golden time for RC in regard to the amount of possible options you can choose. Number two, brushless motors and Lipo batteries. Yes, long gone are the days of charging a battery for 3 hours and then having 5 minutes of play. Now you can drive cars for so much longer and you can charge your batteries faster. Also, the brushless motors are more powerful and need almost no maintenance whatsoever. So fantastic to see that technology really bringing some old vintage cars alive when you put modern technology in them. The big one for me is I still run brushed motors in my vintage stuff, but I like to run Lipos because they're so much lighter. So it takes a lot of pressure off the vintage cars and it gives them that little extra boost to bring them alive as well. Number three is online content from manufacturers. We are so blessed now that manufacturers have access to YouTube and Facebook groups that we can see all this content coming out from the manufacturers. Kyosho is very good at putting out teaser videos and things like that, as well as even this morning I saw some photographs posted up of a delivery of Kyosho stock in France. So we get so much information from them now versus just getting a magazine once a month back in the day. It's much more dynamic. Now you can go and look at all the different cars on the websites, and then there's lots of content for you from all those manufacturers. So that's my number three. Number four, small cottage businesses still going. Now, you thought they would have all died out by now, but back in the day, one of the great things of RC in the golden era was there was lots of little one-man bands making little parts for all your cars. Now, luckily we still have this, but again, with modern technology, we have like websites and things like that. We can find out more about these little tiny companies. Classic example is I've just bought this, which is a slipper clutch conversion for my vintage Top Cat. There's so many little ones about, so that's fantastic to still see. Number five. Now, this number five was also on my hate list, but yeah, that's the kind of way things work. I didn't say there was that much logic involved. And number five is when you finally hunt down that part or that car that you have been chasing for months. You've been looking for a part and you can't find it, and eventually you find one in the condition that you're happy with, and you place that order, or you win that, or you talk to the right person and they've got one, and then you get it and then it arrives and you have it in your hands. That's fantastic. Also, it's an annoyance, but it's also a really good feeling when you finally get that part. Number six, YouTube RC and Facebook RC groups. We are so blessed with this new technology that we can basically go online whenever we want, and we can talk to other RC people from around the world, communicate about issues and see what's coming out and the gossip and what the releases are going to be and all kinds of things like that. And also you can then go on Facebook and there's guys making and girls making content for you that you can all watch for totally for free, and the standard is very high these days, and all over the world, and it all different genres, from crawlers to tanks to rebuilds to bashing, all those people putting all that content out for you that you can just absorb whenever you like. And that is fantastic because it really helps, especially at the moment where we're all locked down, that we can all go online and get all this content for free. Number 7, that there is so many sides to RC at the moment. You can be into tanks, trucks, buggies, racing cars, bashers, bangers. There's so many choices available, so there's something for everyone. Whether you like to do scale rigs, whether you're just an out and out racer and you don't care what it looks like, it's just about how fast it can go around the track, to where getting a metal body and smashing it up at a banger meet. There's so many choices, and it's fantastic to see this growing more and more. Number 8, technology, 3D printers, carbon fiber, all these things, computers, CAD programs, all this new technology feeds in to this hobby, making it easier for you to print and modify, and for small one-man bands, like I mentioned before, to release more parts cheaper, quicker, and things like that. And to modify cars, this technology really kind of lends itself well to the RC hobby, and hopefully we'll see more people getting on board and producing more and more parts for RC. I know that's what I want to do as soon as I have a bit more space. Number 9, access to starting RC. Now there's a lot of people out there that have never been into RC but are really keen to get into it, or they were into it when they were younger and they're just getting back into it now, but they don't know where to start. Now, yes, you could say kits have got very expensive, but you can still now get into a very basic TTO2 where you don't have to paint the body anymore. You can just put the stickers on. Electronics have become so much more reliable and simple that you can just plug them in and away you go. Chargers are very easy. You don't have to go Lipo. You can just stick with the traditional stuff and pick up a battery for very cheap. So access is very easy. Plus, like I said before, there's loads of content online, so it's very easy to get up and get going. And number 10, which is really my one, is that I can interact with all you guys. Because if I wasn't talking to you guys all the time, and girls, all the time, every day, I'd be standing in a little room in my house talking to no one. And that is my number 10. I actually spend most of my time talking to you guys and you messaging me and seeing all your comments. And I have to try and rein it in because it's getting to the point now where I'm spending more time doing that than actually creating content for you. But it's fantastic to see people messaging me, showing me what they've done, what they've modified, what they're thinking of buying, what they bought, what projects they're working on, as well as small little companies contacting me. If you're a small RC company and you're doing little tiny bits and pieces and you want to have a little bit of a shout out, I am happy to show people what you're producing, because obviously if you're very small it's very hard to get noticed. So get in contact. I'll put a link below if you're producing something that you would love people to see, because I'm happy to help. Anyway, thanks very much. There's just 10 things that I love about this hobby, and there's loads more, but that's just a nice little roundup for you. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up because it's got to beat Rebecca's. Yeah, it's not. That's at like 50, 60,000 views now. What you're saying is you don't want to see this. See you soon. Bye-bye.